Howdies and Hardos. We're back at it. Episode 43, joined by special guest Connor Forbrook. You have to be the most appeared guest on this podcast.
Yeah, we were talking about before. We think it's at 6, so
6, yeah.
Including the 2 mock drafts.
And look at Spinny. He's ready to go. The whole suit on.
We came ready for the pod today.
Damn, Spinny.
Why are you looking so good? Up.
Why are you looking so good?
Well, we had a little first day at the job today, just got a different assistant coaching job, so had to come dressed for success. River Falls, University of Wisconsin, River Falls. So
not better than Bethany, though.
Definitely better for sure. Beat them last year, but I'll just say, literally. But that's okay.
What's the team name?
The Falcons.
Ooh, so go Falcons now.
Falcons forever, baby.
Go Vikings.
No, L's.
All right, boys, we got some headlines to discuss. The first being a Twins headline, actually. Luis Arraez traded to the Marlins for Pablo Lopez and 2 prospects, Jose Salas, who's a shortstop, and Byron Chorrillo. Don't know if I said that right. He's an outfielder. These guys are 17-year-old and 19-year-old. Probably won't see them in a while. I like this move. I don't know. Forbrook, what are your initial thoughts? Twins guy.
Yeah, no, I do like it. I don't know too much about Pablo Lopez. He seems like a quality starter. He'll probably make our rotation a lot better. But we obviously lose the fan favorite and probably one of our best sticks all around. So, but I think I like it.
Spinny.
So should I pull the Al? Should I be the Al of this show?
You could.
I don't know. I do wonder about trading our best guy getting on base, but obviously, you talked about Buss, his on base percentage and that type of stuff actually really wasn't that good compared to his average. And plus, on the low, 316 is kind of a Mickey Mouse batting title, I will say. 316 is not anything crazy for most years batting titles.
I think it's due to the nature maybe that that's kind of where hitting's going is the long ball. So that's kind of just baseball now. There's probably be a lot lower batting average winners. So
that's a good point.
But it is low.
I just like that we made a move for a pitcher.
Yeah.
That's been our weakness for how many years now. And we at least for sure made our rotation deeper by making this move. So maybe he won't be a true 1, maybe not even a 2. But, I mean, he put up a sub-4 ERA with a 12-12 record, I believe, last year with the Marlins. So I think he should have a better stat line than that with us.
And like you said, at least we made a move on a pitcher.
Right.
I feel like we never actually pulled the trigger. And maybe this isn't as big of a guy as we should have gotten, but it's at least a shot,
Well, it might end up being one of those mid guys that we always talk about,
Yeah.
Well,
we've had a bunch of those over the years.
This is gonna bite us in the butt, that's for sure. But I mean, we'll see. Only time will tell. Another headline: the Hall of Fame class. Scott Rowland made it. He joined the Contemporary Era Committee selection, which was Fred McGriff. It's some weird Spinny. Do you even know how that is done?
I really don't understand it. I'm sorry.
10 years are done on the ballot. You can be selected in by this Contemporary Era Committee. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's how it seems. But
Scott Rowland, 6th year on his ballot, earns 76.3% of the votes. You need 75%. So he was the only one to get in. He's the 18th third baseman elected into the Hall of Fame. 281 career batting average, just over 2,000 hits, 7 All-Star games, 8 Gold Gloves. That was what he was known for, was his defensive ability. He has a 70 WAR, which is 10th all time for third basemen. Just fun fact there. So, I mean, this guy deserves to be in, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like he deserved to be in. It's just kind of low key. He's not a guy I always thought of for Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and when it was announced, I was kind of oh, really? And then you look at his stats and it's okay, yeah, he had a lot of really good seasons. And then the defense, like you said, super high defensive WAR as well.
Won a ring in 06.
No, yeah, he was a stud for those Cardinals teams, which seemed like they were always in the postseason, making noise. So it's good to see him get in. But honestly, I don't really pay attention to like the Hall of Fame much anymore. It's kind of a joke in my opinion that we don't have like some of the greatest players that. So I as a kid I used to love like seeing who gets in and stuff. And
So do you think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame? Is that what you're
well,
getting
and A-Rod didn't get in this year either.
A-Rod.
It's like the better third
Rose.
baseman in the class. What'd you
Yeah,
say?
I mean, Pete Rose, Barry Bonds. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are up there.
It seems like you just got a bunch of writers that are, I don't know, just mad at.
None of those road baby guys
That's
are ever
right.
getting in either. Like, it's a lock that they're not getting in. So.
Do you think once the writers get to be like younger, that there'll be something like to get them in or not? Or do you think writers are always just going to be pure baseball guys?
See, I don't know. How is it done in any other sport? Why do these guys can just like hold grudges on guys that like for sure should be in? Like A-Rod, he has like 120 WAR. Like,
Yeah.
as much as you hate the guy, like the dude hit like 700 home runs, just under. It's like, what are we doing?
Bonds had a Hall of Fame career before he took steroids, pretty much. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's Clemens too, though. Clemens took steroids at the end of his career after he had like 6 Cy Youngs already. It's like, come on.
Anyways, Todd Helton, 72%, Billy Wagner, 68%, Andrew Jones, 58%. They all fell short, but based on their trajectory, they're likely to get in these next couple of years. I can't remember off the top of my head. There was one interesting guy, Gary Sheffield, I believe. Next year will be his last year on the ballot, and he wasn't very close this year, so he is likely not to get in. Gary Sheffield.
We were looking the stats up on like what awards you get in your career and like how often you're in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah,
and it's kind of interesting. I didn't write any of them down, so I'm not going to quote you them exactly, but like MVP, like one MVP is only like a 50-50 chance basically at getting in the Hall of Fame.
Same with Cy Young.
Yeah.
And 2, you were like more likely, but there was still a handful of guys with 2 Cy Youngs that weren't in the Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah, it's kind of interesting. Just like when you compare it to other sports, like obviously it's not as long and it's a different sport, but like the NFL in comparison with MVP to Hall of Fame relation is obviously a lot different. Just kind of an interesting little deep dive.
It does seem like baseball is more longevity based, especially like the Hall of Fame. Like Scott Rowe, he played forever. I don't think he ever had like did he have an MVP? I don't think he did. But he just had a bunch. He just racked up a ton of like good seasons in a row.
Yeah. I mean, his best season ever was 34 homers, 124 RBIs, hitting.
Yeah, it's a great year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great year, but that's like, not top of the league best year.
Yep, fair enough. Some NFL news. Bill O'Brien to the Patriots as OC, Nathaniel Hackett to the Jets as OC, and Frank Reich to the Panthers as head coach. Any of these moves surprise you guys? I think maybe for me, the Hackett one a little bit, but he had success as an OC, so I can see the Jets taking that shot.
Is that just to get the Rodgers connection, potential Rodgers connection?
Right. I believe so.
It makes sense.
He's obviously a competent offensive coordinator, but the Denver look did not look good. But we have seen a bunch of guys that just can't be a head coach, so maybe he's just a coordinator guy.
Yeah, maybe he could be good. Did he call the calling the plays thing, right? Did he call the plays in Green Bay, though?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't think
so. It's kind of like, that's
Yeah.
kind of the thing now. It's like offensive coordinators, like, do you get credit for the offense if you don't call the plays or not?
It's tough. It definitely doesn't. You don't get all the credit, or even
I feel like
majority of it.
it takes you longer to get to build up your like I could be a head coach thing when you're not calling the plays.
What about KOC on the Rams? Was he calling plays?
No, probably not.
No
way. McVay was definitely calling plays.
Still worked out for him, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can work out, but
Bill O'Brien, though?
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that? Is this even your team anymore? Are you still a Patriots fan? Do you claim to be a Patriots fan? I don't know if you do. I'm actually.
Did I ever?
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
So you're a Tom Brady fan. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that 100%. I still, they're still my second team. Come on.
So do you like this Bill O'Brien move then? he used to coach there, did he?
Yeah, it's fine. I feel like I would have liked more of a splashy something, or even something different like Cliff Kingsbury, even if he's not good.
Right.
Like even just something a little bit out of like somebody that's worked for you that basically copied everything they've ever done from you, and then just bring them back and have them do the same thing you just did. It's kind of like.
Well, that's kind of the thing, though, in New England. They kind of like that. They like having all their little guys under the thing, and they all leave a little bit, and then they all come back. So Bill O'Brien's back, and it probably is a good thing for Mac Jones. Seemed like
It's better than freaking
whoever Patricia.
Yeah,
is that who was doing it?
Jeez, like
yeah, he was terrible.
And Joe Judge, right? Those are the two guys,
right?
Yeah, that's sus for sure. So had to do something. Good move. Frank Reich, I think, is a good coach. If Carolina can get a quarterback, he's kind of the quarterback whisperer guy. So I think it could be good. But he's never been able to get the quarterback right. So that definitely needs to happen if there's going to be success.
And Carolina hasn't really they haven't got the QB right since Cam, right?
No.
Yeah. He's their last.
Yeah. He's the last one, yeah.
So that's obviously. They have a top 10 pick, right?
So they're maybe looking at like Levis then, or
yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see
if he goes that high
as the scouting process develops, where exactly they go. But
for sure. Well, the last headline we got here: the NBA All-Star starters were announced today, just a little bit ago. For the West, we got Curry, Luka, LeBron, who's the captain, Zion, and Jokic. And for the East, we got Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Giannis. And Giannis is the captain. That means not AD. Embiid is the one who gets snubbed in the East. Anything else surprise you guys out of this list? I mean, I was perfectly right on the West. I know you were too, Spinny. So no surprises for me there.
Yep. I mean, Kyrie All-Star starter is a little bit surprising to me on performance. Well, I mean, he deserves it though. The man's been balling. Man has the best guard stats in the East, so you got to give him credit for that. But I just was surprised. I didn't exactly expect it. He might have earned himself a long-term contract actually if he like finishes the season like this.
He said he'd stay in Brooklyn. He said it's in their court. The ball's in their court, so we'll see what happens there. Is our boy Ant going to be an all-star? Like, that's a real question here. He's got to be, right? I feel like he's going to get snubbed, but come on.
I think he definitely should be in, but it's so tough now. The NBA is so deep, and especially if you're not like one of those premier teams, like some of those teams are going to get two guys just because they're that good. So Ant definitely should get in, but I don't know. It'll be dicey.
Agreed.
Yep, agreed. Well, it's about that time, boys. You know what time it is?
No, I can't remember what time it is. What time is it?
Maybe this song will help y'all. Can't get enough of that song, honestly.
That song is amazing, even though your intro to it could use some work, buddy.
Why? That was good.
What was good?
That was good.
Sure. Yeah, everything was good. Everything was good.
Let me just continue this win streak I have.
Win streak.
Also, Forbrook, you're not winning. I know you've won every time you've been on this show, but that ends today.
Oh, that sounds good, but
That's... that sounds good. Just pulling out the old.
I do have some. I have some gettable questions, so I'm tossing you guys some layups.
And I also cheated already and looked at Bush's questions, so I can already know the answers. It's awesome.
I knew that was coming. All right, I'll ask first. Easy question. Who is number one ranked team in college basketball right now today?
Oh, so the rankings just came out this week, and Houston lost earlier this week, or they lose last week.
Don't think too much out loud. You might be giving Spinny some help.
I think I got my answer, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Even though I went to the Gophers game last night, I'm not too locked into college hoops.
Okay, so one of you shot one out.
I'm gonna say Purdue.
I was gonna say Purdue too. It better not be Houston.
You both got it correct.
Let's go, Skinny.
Let's get it.
So there's only 2 Big Ten teams in the top 25, I think, right?
Well, who would be the second one?
Yeah, I think it's just one. I think
It's
just Purdue.
Rutgers, I think.
Oh,
Rutgers are the team that beat Purdue.
Yep. Rutgers actually having a good year,
Yeah.
but it's pretty down. Wisconsin wasn't, but they dropped out.
should I go next?
Sure.
I'm just looking at the Big Ten here. See quick because it's piquing my interest if we got any top 25 teams here. Nope. Only Purdue in the current rankings. Rutgers is out. One ranked team and it's number 1. Okay. My easy question. Who leads the NBA in blocks per game currently this season?
I got my answer.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Brooke Lopez.
Wrong and wrong. Nick Claxton.
Claxton? God.
Look it up. You're wrong. Jaren Jackson has over 3 blocks a game.
Is he qualified, though?
Oh,
I don't think he qualifies.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm looking
Probably
it
doesn't
up.
qualify. Yeah, he missed a good chunk of the season to start. I know he's over 3. But yeah, he probably
Yeah.
Lopez is 2. Golly.
Yeah.
All right.
There's NBA.com.
Yeah, he's qualified. Okay.
So
Who was – all right, my easy question. Who was the QB for the 49ers the last time they played the Eagles and the only time they played the Eagles in the playoffs in 1996? The QB for the Niners in 1996 when they played the Eagles.
well, there's 2 guys. It's either one of these 2 guys. Was this guy too late?
Steve Young, final answer.
Steve Young. If I swear it was Jeff Garcia, I'm gonna.
It was Steve Young.
Okay.
It's an easy question.
I was like, if this is Jeff Garcia, I'm gonna riot.
No, yeah, I thought that was interesting. The only time the Niners and the Eagles played in the playoffs was one time, and it was like a 14-0 game where Ty Detmer was like the other Eagles QB, and they didn't do anything on offense. Should I run it back?
Nick Claxton.
I'm just angry that Jaren Jackson hasn't played enough games. Dang it.
Tough.
All right, my medium question. Which conference has the most Super Bowls and how many? 1 point for each. Parameter here, there's been 52 Super Bowls played in conference era. So, I mean, you have 50-50 shot at least at 1 point here.
I like this question.
Yeah, I don't know the answer either.
No. I'm gonna go AFC.
I was gonna go AFC too, and I was gonna say
I'm going 31.
I was gonna go 30. 30. Yeah.
Wow. You guys are both wrong with both answers. It's the NFC with 27. 27-25 lead for the NFC.
Jeez.
All those Cowboys and Niners Super Bowls.
Yeah, I guess.
What? All right.
Okay. Who is the only? There's 2 bigs in the top 5 in the NBA in triple doubles. One of them is Jokic. Who's the other one?
2 bigs.
2 bigs in the top 5 in the league in triple doubles this season. One of them is Jokic. Who's the other one?
Giannis.
That's your final answer?
He actually's missed a bunch of games. And I don't know if you classify him a big Spinny.
No, Giannis would be a big.
Okay. I feel like you've baited me into taking him now.
I know the answer. That's your final answer?
No, it's not. It was going to be. I'm going to go with I'll go with Giannis.
Sabonis.
Sabonis is the answer.
I have Sabonis on my fantasy team.
Yep.
He didn't even cross my mind.
Let's go. My boy Sabonis. Put
All right.
this year. That's an all-star right there.
Since it's the Royal Rumble weekend, Royal Rumble's on Saturday.
Let's go.
I'm
My
winning
favorite,
the
my
pool, by the
favorite,
way.
my favorite WWE event. Yeah, if you want to get in a pool of $10, Venmo me. I think we'll do. Maybe we'll do a women's and a men's one. They started to do the women's one. But my question: who won the Royal Rumble last year? 1 point for the male, 1 point for the female. Hint: both are former UFC champions. 1 point for the male, 1 point for the female.
Okay, I got mine.
Okay. Wait. Who would the male be?
Spinny, you think you got it?
I think I'm 2 for 2 on this. Yeah.
It might have been too easy.
Give me a second then, because
Both UFC champions.
I can't think of the dude right now. I'm gonna say Ronda Rousey.
Spinny?
I feel like she showed up in the WWE.
Ronda Rousey's my female guess.
Yep. So you both get a point for the women. She did win it last year. And then the male.
I'm drawing a mind blank. I'm probably out of time now. I don't have a guess. I'm gonna feel down. Tommy Spinny.
Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar won the male one too. So Spinny gets 2 points.
Let's go.
Brock Lesnar.
That was a good question.
Would you have got it if I didn't say the UFC champion?
No.
No, I wouldn't have. No chance I would have. Okay, going into the hard round. Spinny and I are tied with 4 points. Forbrook, you only have 1 point, bro. What's going on?
I told you guys, I was letting you guys win.
Shout out to Giota, by the way, on moving that to your medium question because that was too easy for her.
That was definitely too easy for hard.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I would have done the hint, but
true. Then it could have been a hard question.
This question I feel like is not very hard, but you have to name all 3 players to get full points. Okay? Name the 3 non-kickers to play in more than 300 NFL games. There's only 3 non-kickers to do it. Who are they?
Does it count if they were half their career as a position, the other half as a kicker or a punter?
No, that I know what you're talking about. That guy, I'm not counting.
Okay.
There's 3 just.
So the Raiders, the old, George Blanda, you're not counting?
No, I'm not counting George
Okay.
Blanda.
All right.
3 non-kickers.
they played in 300 games.
At least 300 games. Which is
Insane.
an insane amount. Just think about it. Who's played a lot? Non-kickers. That's a lot of positions.
I think I got 2. Spinny?
Yeah, I think I got 2 as well. I'm gonna say Brady.
I'm gonna say Favre. Brady. Yep. And then
I got a wild card guess, but I don't really think it's right. I feel like it's got to be a quarterback, right? Is it a quarterback? Is it 3 quarterbacks?
I was thinking maybe like a tight end. Is there like a
Notice how my face is.
Did Tony Gonzalez play? Did Tony Gonzalez or one of those get tight ends play like a bunch of games?
I was thinking Terrence Newman. That was my off the wall guess.
Yeah, he wasn't. I wasn't thinking him. Larry Fitzgerald, maybe.
Ooh.
I would say Larry Fitzgerald. Shout out Giota.
I feel like I got to do a different guess.
That's not right though.
Peyton Manning.
Both are incorrect. Forbrook was the closest with his 3rd guess. Same position. Holds all the records.
Jerry Rice. Oh, dude, I was just looking at his stats the other day. They're insane.
303 games or something like that for Jerry Rice.
That was too easy.
So
we got 2 points each.
No, we don't get any points.
You got to get all 3 of them. Like that. That's why I wanted you to get all 3 because those
Gotcha.
are pretty known guys. Like,
yeah.
All right, Spinny, your hard question.
Who is the only team in the NFL in the top 5 in passing yards per game and rushing yards per game this season?
Say that again.
Only team in the NFL in the top 5 in passing yards per game and in the top 5 in rushing yards per game.
You got one, Fetty?
I mean, one of two teams come to mind.
I don't like that this is hard.
Yeah, I know. The fact is, a hard question is really throwing me off. I feel like my answer is too easy. Do you have one, Forbes?
Not a good one.
I don't have a good one either.
That's why it's a hard question. Come on.
We're going to go with – we're going to say the Eagles.
I was going with the Eagles too, but there's honestly can't be right. That wouldn't be an easy question. My Eagles are my answer.
It is the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers, oh my gosh.
San Francisco 49ers.
Now
They're
that's
both
like
passing
a
and rushing.
duh moment for me.
Is it though with Purdy and Lance and all the switching around and stuff? Is it? I was just kind of I
Their
didn't
offense
realize.
is amazing. They get a ton of yards and points every game, so it doesn't surprise me.
All right.
It was a good question. I liked it.
Another conference champion. I got another conference championship one. We're going to the AFC this time.
Ooh.
Which AFC team has the most conference championship appearances?
One of two. This is the hard question, though. Are you tripping
That's
me?
what I'm
Is
saying.
you tripping me? Can you pick one and I'll pick the other so at least one of us gets it right?
Well, you can pick your squad then.
Yeah, I'll pick my squad. I'll take the Pats.
I'm taking the Steelers. It's going to somehow be neither of them.
It's the Steelers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You won, Fetty?
Yep, 7 points. 7-4 to 1. Damn, Forbes.
Almost too easy that last one, but
You were due for a bad outing after just absolutely killing us every other time.
no. Dude, you want to hear a funny story? We went to trivia the other night. We had a halftime lead. There was like 11 teams. And we finished like 8th at the end of the night.
What?
Completely blew
Second half was ass.
Completely blew the second half. Me, Hoovy, and Moss.
Oh.
Just a bad night.
That is tough.
That is so tough. All right, boys. Let's talk about the divisional round now from this past weekend. We'll start with the Saturday games. Chiefs over the Jags, 27-20. Obviously, the biggest storyline coming out of this game is the Mahomes injury. Spinny or Forbes, one of you guys want to talk about that a little bit? I wasn't able to watch the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that high ankle sprain usually is like at least 4 to 6 weeks, it seems like.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty serious injury usually. And the fact that it seems like all reports saying he's practicing this week, I'm actually kind of shocked. The line moved to, I think it's a pick'em now, which I think it opened at.
I think it's
KC's -1 last I saw.
I think it's KC -1.
See, it's all over the place. I think I saw today was even. So obviously, Vegas isn't really sure either.
Yeah.
So
one of those things no one's gonna know until the game starts.
Yeah, right now KC -1.
All reports out of Kansas City, it seems like he's good to go. But obviously,
that's crazy. If he's actually good to go, that's nutty.
What happened? Like, was it a tackle or like?
Yeah, no, he just got one of the linemen got rolled up on like his like lower leg.
No, I remember seeing that play on Twitter.
Because I thought it was a knee injury, honestly.
Because we were watching together. We were like, "Oh, knee, that's not good."
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, I guess I'm glad that it's just an ankle injury, not a knee injury. That would be terrible. Hate seeing stars go down like that. Another storyline from this game, though, is just Trevor Lawrence. I mean, made it to the second round in his second year in the league. The growth he showed this year. Spinny, what was it that you said a couple weeks ago? The prince that was promised has returned, or whatever.
Yes, let's get it.
I mean, that's really the case. What are the expectations for the Jags and Trevor Lawrence for you guys next year?
I got
him as a playoff team once again.
Get him a big time receiver, and let's really see.
Calvin Ridley.
They do have Calvin Ridley now.
I forgot about that. He's coming back. That receiver room is going to be pretty nice.
Kirk and Ridley and Zay Jones.
That's
terrible. And Ingram.
Potentially pretty good.
Yeah, they might need one more guy, but another lineman or two is what I would more think probably.
The thing is, they got ETN out of the backfield, which is, I mean, he's
He's good.
He's right up there with all those receiving backs too.
I think Lawrence is the top 5 QB.
I heard you say that last week on the pod, and
Yeah. I want you to come back with some stuff on that for me.
no, I see where you're going. It's probably a little early, but
is it early? Yeah.
but I definitely could see it in a couple of years. That
I just can't name guys better than him. It's like
I saw an NFL.com article the other day, and whoever it was written by had Lawrence as 5th. So there's a lot of people that are already putting him in that conversation. Which I think it's a little premature, but if he balls out again next year, takes another step forward, I'd probably be ready and makes playoffs again, wins another game. I'd probably be ready to put him in that conversation. Like he is definitely that close.
And that division is definitely winnable every year unless something changes drastically. It's always been like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Terrible.
The other Saturday game, Eagles routed the Giants 38-7. This was never a game. Pretty boring one, actually. I guess the main question I have for you guys is regarding the Giants. And do you think Daniel Jones will be the starter next year? I believe he's a free agent. May be wrong on that.
He is free agent.
So are they bringing him back? What do you guys think? I felt like it was pretty much a lock that he'd be brought back when they beat the Vikings, but the fact that they went out like this, it's like, I don't know. I really don't know.
I think you have to bring him back. I'm sure he wants to come back too, and I would try to get him on some kind of extension that's
team friendly.
That's the thing, though. It's probably not going to be team friendly. So,
but the thing is, you have so much bad tape on him. Like it's easy. I feel like it's easier to negotiate because you're like, look, bro. Before we brought in this coach that made Josh Allen way better, and now look at how many turnovers Josh Allen had this year. And we bring this guy in, and then you're good. Look at before that. Like, you need to stay here to be good. So take a deal and stay here. Otherwise, go get what you can get. Because is he going to get more from anywhere else? I just feel like with the Giants offense, they don't have a better option. Like, none of the quarterbacks available right now are a better option than Daniel Jones for the Giants offense, just given his rushing and the mobility stuff.
Potentially Lamar, I guess. But
well, okay, Lamar.
What if one of these teams, like, let's say, who knows where Lamar's going, but he would fit what the Ravens are doing, or like Carolina. What if they came over the top with 30 a year or something? Because they're like, oh, Daniel Jones, he's the guy.
Maybe.
I think you have to I almost think you have to lock him up. It's just, it sucks that it's so much easier to get worse at QB than get better, unfortunately.
That is true.
And Daniel Jones is good enough.
Dude, I mean, there's been so much bad Daniel Jones tape. Come on, like, can we remember the last 3 years?
Let's take
the last 3 years.
Yeah, he's growing.
Come on,
he's 25 years old. Skinny.
You cannot expect exponential growth after 3 years of this, and then 1 year up. It's gonna be right back down. Come on.
And who is his receivers this year?
Nobody.
He has had no weapons pretty much the entire time he's been in New York, and the weapons he has had, guys like Sterling Shepard, hurt all the time, always hurt.
All right,
they drafted Darius Toney.
They finally got the head coach right.
I'm not like using that as an excuse. I'm saying that would just be the argument against that.
That's fair. I can respect.
So we're thinking he is probably inevitably the Giants quarterback again because they just don't think they have a better option.
Maybe Dayball pulls a rabbit and gets Lamar. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
I could see something crazy like that happen.
Do we think Lamar's coming back? Have you guys done that yet?
No, we haven't talked about Lamar.
Yeah,
that one's tough. I don't know.
If the Ravens don't give him $230 guaranteed, I don't think he goes there and they franchise tag him probably.
So is another team going to give him that money?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
The Jets, I think 1 second. 1 second.
I think the Colts,
best quarterback they've had since Joe Namath instantly.
The Colts would even consider it.
Yeah.
Like a team like that's like close, just needs a quarterback.
Or the Lions.
The Lions, like there's options.
I don't know.
Teams. Man, if I was the Vikes, I'd trade Kirk in a second for Lamar.
Would you though?
Yes.
I don't know.
Come on.
Lamar, not like Lamar's done anything in the playoffs either, though.
No, but the age and
Can he throw the ball to Jefferson?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can he? I don't know. He's not a very good thrower.
He can throw it to Hawkinson.
That he can definitely do.
He can definitely do.
Yeah.
That he can definitely do. No, I would take Lamar. Obviously, he's way younger than Kirk. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Lamar hasn't shown to be that much better than
I
Kirk,
was trying
but
to be devil's advocate.
fine.
Per usual. So let's move on to Sunday games, though. Bengals take care of Bills, 27-10. Spinning, I know. Respect. You got that right. This was disappointing to me. I thought for sure, I was so high on the Bills coming into the season. I had them winning the AFC. And, yeah, just fell apart. Josh Allen, I mean, he didn't play terrible in this game, but he was obviously greatly outplayed by Burrow, which leads to my main question for y'all. Is Burrow QB2?
Yes.
Forbrook? I knew Spinny was going to say that.
Yeah, no, I think so.
I think so, too. I mean, back-to-back AFC Championship appearances, potential back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. The stats back it up, too. I mean,
34 turnovers on the season is too many for Josh Allen. Sorry.
That's-
34 total turnovers?
Period.
Too many.
Period. That's just too many.
That's almost two. He played 19 games, so yeah, like 1.8 turnovers a game. Not loving that.
I think the thing with the divisional round that I think we saw, which time and time again in the playoffs, you got to be able to run the football. And the Bills, other than Josh Allen, just they never figured out the run game this year. So I feel bad for him, but I feel bad for him, but it's like you got to be able to run the football in the playoffs. It's just it's been a constant for ever.
Bijan to Buffalo.
As I say, Bills are either going to be looking to draft Bijan towards the end of the first, or they're going to be signing one of the many running backs.
Yeah, true.
Free agency this year.
We can trade him Dalvin Cook. Maybe we'll do a brother for brother trade.
Yeah, I said that for James pod a couple weeks ago. I was like
even the Chiefs, they got Pacheco as 8 yards a carry in the divisional round. It's like even the Chiefs are running the ball.
Yeah,
Chiefs O-line super good.
Well, speaking of running the ball, that leads us into the 49ers-Cowboys game because Cowboys could not run the ball at all, as expected against that San Francisco front. It wasn't a pretty game, though. Pretty boring, low-scoring defensive game, as kind of expected. And 49ers showed they're definitely top 2 team in the NFC, top 3 team probably in the NFL. I mean, this is a team that is stacked from top to bottom.
Yeah, I am just going to take credit for my Dak Prescott call. Can't have 2 good games in a row, especially against a good defense. He just came out with this classic 206 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Also, can we talk about the fact that Tony Pollard is definitely going to be the starter going forward because we just saw what Zeke can do in a playoff game against a good defense.
He is
and Pollard looked okay even before
he broke his
finger. So
is Zeke's contract finally done? That mega one that he had
I don't believe it is.
6 years, 90. That's what it was.
I could be wrong. Spinny's looking it up. I know Pollard's a free agent, though. I do know that for a fact. They're going to be doing everything in their power to bring Pollard back. That is for sure. I anticipate him re-signing with them because they're going to give him the money he wants. But it would be interesting to see a guy like Tony Pollard go to another one of these explosive offenses like the Chiefs or some team like that.
Bills?
It'd be ridiculous. The Bills, that would be awesome to see too.
Yeah, no, they should lock him up. He's arguably their best playmaker. Him and CD, which CD's good, but
CD's really good. He took another step forward this year.
I don't know if there is an out. I don't know if it's Zeke's or if it's the team.
It's team related. So if they cut him this year, it's 11 million dead cap, so there's no way they do that. Next year they could get off and just with 6 dead cap. But they still owe him 16, 14, and 17 the next 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's tough for them.
I mean, when you give a running back a 6-year contract, that's what you get.
I mean, Jerry's loyal to his boys, man, but
6 for 90 though.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right. So should we move on to the old conference championship predictions here?
Predict these games, huh? I already know Spinny's takes. Shout out Al Travis Show. We told them this morning. So Forbrook, 49ers at Eagles. Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite. Who do you got? And why?
This is tough. This is really tough. So before the season, I picked the Chiefs over the Niners in the Super Bowl. So It would make sense for me to go Niners here, but Jalen Hurts just keeps on proving me wrong, and he looked healthy last week. And that offense, man, when he's right, it's really good. I mean, I like the Niners, but is this Brock Purdy thing going to keep on going? I don't know. I think I'm going to trust Jalen Hurts and go with the Eagles.
I mean, those were my same thoughts too. That's exactly what I said this morning on Al's show. I mean, Jalen Hurts is really stinking good, and this offense is really good. I know this guy over here is just Forbrook this morning on Al Travis show.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Tried saying Brock Purdy is better than Jalen Hurts. He literally said that.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Look at the passing stats. All I gotta say, look at them. Last 9 weeks.
I'll look at the stats, but
okay, last 9 weeks. When
Yeah.
Hurts missed 3 or 4 of those games.
Yeah, exactly. Last
out
9
here.
weeks. Those
Get
9
out
weeks,
here.
baby.
I watched the games, and my eyes say Jalen Hurts is better.
Yes.
My eyes
Anyone's
disagree with your eyes.
You're blind then.
Am I?
Sir, you are blind.
I mean, all I said this morning is I'm going to pick the team with the better coach, the better quarterback, and the better defense. And
See?
that is the Niners all around.
Better
Niners.
coach, better defense, I can agree with. Not better quarterback. No.
Wonder Boy Shanahan.
That exactly. Shanahan with Purdy is better than Sirianni with Hurts.
Don't you think Shanahan's a little overrated? Even though
Okay.
I think he should be coach of the year. He gets
Get
so
out
much
of here
hype.
with over. I'm gonna start calling you. We have a mutual friend who tried giving me this argument recently too.
He got me on board.
No, he was wrong. He was wrong. I hope you're listening to this podcast, George. So you know.
I'll tell him to listen.
Yeah, George Fish, shout out for your wrong takes. No, Kyle Shanahan's not overrated. Guy's a guru for sure. Come on.
I do love Kyle Shanahan. I wish he was our coach. I do love KOC. Not saying I don't, but Shanahan, he's crazy. He's something else.
Maybe a little bit over credit. Like it's not like he has a Super Bowl as a head coach. So like I get a little bit of that like reservation on that front.
Can we get a little weird?
Yeah, of course.
Do you guys like when your football coach is like good looking, hot? Or do we like it when they're a little ugly? Like Andy Reid or like Bill Belichick.
I know.
Like,
I know.
do we like
I
having
feel
like
I feel like I'm more of a ugly, old, hilarious dude.
I think
I
so
feel
too,
like-
man.
I know.
It's getting too
Like,
clean.
even like
cut.
a Sirianni or like a Mike McDaniel, even a little nerdy and not necessarily just a little outcasty.
Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not
Like
ugly,
Mike
but
McDaniel reminds me of Spinny.
Mike McDaniel?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Sheesh. Roasting me
does.
like that.
That's a
I do
roll.
like my football coaches looking like football coaches, if you know what I
I
mean.
know. Yeah.
Right. No, definitely.
I mean, and KOC is a big dude, though. So, like, that's a little
He's
more
tall.
intimidating.
Yeah.
But
He is very tall. How tall is he?
6'4"?
Yeah.
Or
I was gonna
6'5"?
say 6'4", 6'5" for sure.
Yeah.
He looks like that out there. Other game, though. Who do you got? Bengals visiting the Chiefs. KC, we already said 1-point favorite.
I think I'm going to take the Chiefs, even though my head says take the Bengals. I actually believe that Mahomes is going to play, and I think their game plan is going to be Andy Reid. I trust Andy Reid to have a game plan that's okay with Patty being a little shaken up. And also, if he can't play, I honestly trust Chad Henne too, which is crazy as that sounds.
He didn't look bad.
He
That
came in
98-yard drive looked good.
backed up in your own end zone, basically, and basically get him out of trouble. I mean, when you the MVP leaves the game, so
And Andy Reid, like, especially back in Philadelphia and with Alex Smith, like, the type of offense he called via the screen game, via the play action game, especially if Pacheco's going, like, Andy Reid by tradition is not like a deep ball humming it. That's just because we're playing to Mahomes' strength. Like if we dial it back and run more of a traditional Andy Reid offense, it could be amazing too.
Coaches running a scheme that fits their players' strength?
I know, crazy, huh?
Wait a minute. That's an idea. That's a concept. I never heard of that in my life. Being a Vikings fan, I have
Well,
never
Ed
heard
Donatel's never heard of it.
Right.
That's for
Our
sure.
defense has never heard of that. That's for sure. No, I'm taking the Chiefs. I just don't. Spinny and I made this point this morning. can't see Joe Burrow beating Mahomes 4 times in essentially 1 year. I just can't see it. I mean, it can obviously happen. I'm not saying it can't. I don't know. I got to trust Mahomes in this one. He was my pre-playoff pick, so I'm sticking with it.
Isn't it fun that we got the 4 best teams too? Like,
Yeah.
as much as underdogs are fun and stuff, but having like the 2 really good games to look forward to on Sunday is, I don't know. I'm pretty jacked up for this.
These are definitely the 4 best teams.
I agree. I totally agree. Well, boys, do you have any other thoughts about the playoffs? Otherwise, we will predict these NFL awards since the finalists just came out. Let's do it.
All right. Before we hit that, just wanted to say preseason predictions. I got a couple of those right, and I not right, but what we think is going to be right. So Justin Jefferson, Offensive Player of the Year, that kind of seems like a lock right now. So I'm going to take credit for that. And Nick Sirianni, Coach of the Year, is best odds currently. So a couple of preseason to now dubs. Go check out. Oh, I'm not going to say the episode number because I don't know it. But 27? Go check out episode 27 where we predicted all this in the preseason.
Well, for MVP, Spinny and I both predicted Josh Allen. Obviously, doesn't look like that's happening, but he was at least a finalist.
True.
Finalists here: Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, our boy Justin Jefferson, and Pat Mahomes. Forbrook, who you got winning MVP?
I got Mahomes, and I think it's honestly should be a no-brainer. I think he got better in like every single category, and without Tyreek Hill. So.
Exactly.
This is supposed to be the Chiefs rebuilding year.
Yeah,
it's kind of nuts. Yeah, that he's just keeps on doing what he's doing.
And honestly, as much as I hate it being called this, like the Chiefs are like the Chiefs have turned the AFC Championship into the Arrowhead Stadium Invitational. Honestly,
5 straight years.
So that's
ridiculous,
crazy impressive.
Is interesting note before we continue with these awards here. I saw an article saying is Mahomes and Burrow the new Brady Manning.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so. It better be a little more even though.
Why? You don't want 7 championships to 2 or what?
Yeah.
You're not a big fan of your boy being down by 5 championships or what?
No, I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Offensive Player of the Year, we're all picking Jefferson. He was also my preseason pick. I'm with Spinny on that. I'm sticking with him, obviously. Forbrook, you got to be picking him, right?
I mean, so Mahomes is one of the finalists, right?
It is. Mahomes, Hurts, Tyreek, and Jefferson.
So personally, I don't think QB should even be eligible for this award since the MVP is basically the quarterback award. So I don't think you should be able to win both. Or maybe that should be you can't win MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. But yeah, I picked Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened last year. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year last year. So
yeah,
I also said, sorry, you can go ahead.
No, yeah, QBs should not just be eligible for that, considering the MVP is just
or make the MVP and not QB. Like
right.
You got to do one or the other.
Something for sure. I also said on that episode 27, Jefferson would have 120 catches and 1,700 yards. He actually exceeded those numbers, 128 catches for 1,809 yards. So shout out Jefferson. He went off this year. DPOY, I said Myles Garrett preseason. That obviously didn't happen. Our finalists are Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, and Michael Parsons, who Spinny picked preseason. Spinny, I'm assuming you're rocking him then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking Parsons, even though I think it's probably going to be Bosa if I had to put my heart on it. But I'm going to say Parsons just to stick with my pick.
I'm picking Bosa. How about you, Forbes?
I picked Parsons. Yeah, he was the best player on the second best DVOA defense, and part of the reason the Cowboys were so good early on too. And kind of when Dak was out too, he was the defense kind of held them together. So
yeah.
That's essentially why I'm picking Bosa. He's the best player on the best defensive team. So that's essentially why I had to lean him. But I wouldn't be upset if Parsons won. He obviously is deserving. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we got Brock Purdy, Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson. I'm going to be so mad if Purdy wins. He only played 7 or 8 games. That's going to be ridiculous to me if he wins.
Purdy time.
I picked
Purdy time.
I picked Breece Hall to start the year. I'm picking Garrett Wilson, another Jet.
Purdy time.
Yeah, I took Garrett Wilson, multiple
I'm actually
QBs.
livid if Purdy wins.
I
He does
can't
not
wait for
deserve
Purdy
to
to
be
win.
on this list.
No, yeah, I took Garrett Wilson.
Brock.
Come on, Spinny. No, yeah, I just thought Garrett Wilson. He put up a really good year, multiple QBs, just better numbers than I think Ken Walker was probably my runner-up. So he also had a good year, but Garrett Wilson just had a little bit better and a little bit inconsistent QB play. So
facts. That is facts. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I picked Trayvon Walker in the beginning of the year. He's not even a finalist, so L for me. Spinny. You are the finalist. You picked Aiden Hutchinson preseason. Are you sticking with him?
I feel like Sauce is probably going to win it.
Or you're going to just take the right pick here? I feel like it's Sauce. A lot for Sauce. He was, first or second highest graded cornerback this year in all of NFL? PFF at least?
Mm-hmm. Pro Bowler and All-Pro first team.
Yeah. All-Pro as a rookie. He's winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, that's for sure. That's your pick, I assume, Forbrook.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Sauce Gardner. I think it's a no-brainer.
So are we going to see – so we see Jets sweep the rookie awards then?
Yeah. They had a good draft, too.
I'm saying, honestly. Yeah, that'd be awesome to see. Comeback Player of the Year, I picked Derrick Henry. I feel like he should be on this list, but I get the other three being on it over him. It's Saquon, CMC, and Geno Smith. I'm giving it to Geno. We've seen CMC and Saquon do this type of stuff before. Never seen Geno throw 30 touchdowns and 8 or 9 interceptions. This was absolutely incredible year for Geno. He led the Seahawks to the stinking playoffs. To the playoffs, a team that was projected 3 or 4 wins.
It's Geno.
It's got to be Geno.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought that Geno even had this in him. So
No.
I think it's got to be. It was Drew Lock or him, right? And it was kind of a 50-50 bet.
Yeah, literally.
Geno kind of took it and run.
That's crazy. Good credit to him.
Thanks. Okay, last award, Coach of the Year. Dabble, McDermott, Peterson, Shanahan, Sirianni.
No KOC on this list is BS. I'm sorry.
So ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but 15 wins in the last 2 years to 13 wins this year and not even in the top 5?
First year as a head coach ever.
Weak division, worst defense. I'll just push back a little bit, but
yeah, no, I like it.
That's honestly all I got. There was a lot of good coaches.
These votes and finalists were before the playoffs, correct?
Yeah.
So it's I thought it was a little premature for Doug Peterson to be on there. Jags went 9-8. Yeah, they made the playoffs, but talk about a weak division in the AFC South.
It does seem a little disrespectful to KOC, but
we kind of like it though. Hopefully he comes back with a little chip on his shoulder.
Right. We need that chip on our shoulder for sure. I picked Sean McDermott preseason. I'm not rocking that pick because I don't think he has a shot to win it. He shouldn't. I'm picking Nick Sirianni. They went from 9 wins to 14, and oftentimes were regarded as the best team in the entire NFL this season. So I got to pick Nick Sirianni.
I'm sticking with Sirianni just because he was my preseason pick.
That was a golden preseason pick, by the way. I feel like Coach of the Year is such a hard one to pick, and the fact that he got that right is crazy.
I had to stick with that, even though I think Shanahan definitely has a good of a case with the quarterback play and everything that's happened to them this season. He's definitely got a case. But yeah, I picked Sirianni preseason, so we got to stick with him. I'm just still ticked about KLC not on the list.
Facts.
Yeah, I had Shanahan, even though I was shitting on him earlier. But I think Kyle Shanahan. I mean, what he deals with at QB every year, I don't know if it's kind of a little bit self-inflicted, but it doesn't ever seem to be right. But they still win a ton of games and are always top tier team in the NFC when it comes down to it in December. So,
yeah,
Kyle. Chris, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it's Sirianni or Shanahan. It's got to be one of those two, right?
I can't even believe Sean McDermott's on the list, really. The Bills underachieved for kind of what we thought. And so it was just I was a little surprised.
Those other 3, I would put KOC over all 3 of them, in my opinion. But that's probably being about a straight bias opinion. But like I said, I already made that Peterson case. So
Yeah.
Peterson has less talent, so I get that, but
that's fair. That is fair. Well, Forbes, do you have any other thoughts about this upcoming weekend of football or anything you want to say? Otherwise, we'll get you on your way.
No, yeah, looking forward to the Royal Rumble on Saturday night and as a little intro into football on Sunday. It should be a good weekend for sports.
I want to do a little Q&A with Forbes. I got
Let's do it.
a betting question for you. If you had so there's a situation where someone I know who had a 50-1 bet on Chiefs Niners in the Super Bowl. Now you're getting outs on that right about now. Would you take potentially a hedge or an out, or you stick it out and go for it, guy?
It depends on the money. 50-1 is a crazy amount. I almost think you should. I think you should almost get out just because, unless the money doesn't mean anything to you, or like money wise, that's not that big of a loss.
Yeah.
But you made such a good bet that you should get somewhat of a return on that.
All right.
I think you should at least cover your losses if you would lose.
Okay.
Some kind of hedge, but that's an interesting bet though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would base that off of how much money I put on the bet. Like if I only put like 10, 20 bucks, I'd be like, okay, what's 10, 20 bucks? I'm riding this out. But if I put like a good, decent chunk
You
of
put
money,
$1,000 on it?
yeah, if I put 1,000, I'm probably hedging that.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't take too long either. Just gun to your head. Who's winning the finals right now? NBA.
Who's winning the NBA finals?
NBA finals.
C's.
I
think they're the best team right now.
I picked the Bucks until last week. I was Bucks every week until last week. I'm going C's too.
Really? Our Bucks guy switched his pick.
Oh, dude.
Woo!
That's crazy.
C's are looking too deep on the scoring end, and hope the defensive end has stepped up the last couple
And they're
weeks.
gonna make a trade. Maybe Pirtle trade. I don't know, but they're gonna make a trade to like get even deeper. I guarantee it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. It's going to be interesting. The West is crazy.
The NBA is nuts this year. The fact that the Wolves are 1.5 out of the 4 seed is ridiculous.
Yeah,
we'd be a half game. We'd be 5 right now, the 5 seed, and a half game out if we didn't lose the stinking Rockets.
Dude, our Wolves standings bet is looking quite interesting right now, huh?
I know. We were
talking
talking
about anyway.
Yeah. Tell the fans what the bet was.
Yeah, we got. Wait, is it? I got 1 through 4.
Yep. The Wolves finished 1 through 4, and then I have 7 through 10, so the play in.
Yep, and 5.
And then everything else is the wash, which is no fun, but.
Yeah, we should have taken all the numbers, and you wanted to, but I like this odds for me right now, so.
I don't know, dude. I think we're gonna end up in the play-in.
You'll be right, and then either way, you got it. So. No, we're gonna end up the 4 seed. We're killing it. We're dubbing. Cat's coming back, and we're balling.
Yeah, I hope so.
Me too. Just speaking it into existence, y'all. Thank you, Hardee's and Ardos. This is a wonderful episode.
An all-star.
Maybe, but thank you for watching this episode. We love you, and I think we're gonna keep Connor on for the sign-off. As a 6th episode treat will be the first guest that stays on for the sign-off. We love you, Hardee's and Ardos. Hug your friends and family.
Go buy the merch.
Go buy the merch.
Oh
yes.
God, we didn't even mention
the merch. We choked.
Get your merch.
Go get that shit.
This is why he stayed on until the end.
Yes.
This is why he stayed on.
Literally.
Go look at our socials. We have merch now, finally.
Yep.
2 shirts, a crew neck,
Merch it
and a
up.
hoodie. Okay. Go support us and buy it. It's good material. The store is open until February 3rd.
Yep. February 3rd. Check it out.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Forbrook, thank you. I love you.
Peace and love.